They had the best prime rib. My ex-husband's grandma cooked all those prime
Oh,
ribs.
really?
And then she did it at the Elks down here.
Yeah, they had the best
Yep,
prime rib.
best
up
friend
there.
of Lil.
Uh-huh.
What's the one right across from where the Southport Golf Court is too? Was
boxes
it
mean
the Alf
anything?
or?
What's
Sleepy
Yeah,
Owl.
Sleepy
Boxes
Owl.
mean
Yeah, they also had
I
prime
don't
rib,
know.
good.
Yeah.
It's just, this is
Making myself
the
hungry.
thing
Yeah.
that they want that proposed privacy screen.
Doesn't
But he's
compare.
gotta keep this all open, because he's been blocking the access and
We
fire
just had
trucks
dinner
can't
at the
get around
Owl
the back
just
of the building.
recently.
So
Couple
they
weeks
still have
ago.
good prime rib? Is that what
That's
you
a
got?
I
concern.
didn't get prime
But
rib.
you don't think
What
those
did
mean
I don't
anything,
even
do you?
remember what I got.
What's
It's
that?
just
You don't
okay.
think those
I mean,
boxes mean
no,
anything?
Nothing's like it used to.
I
be.
don't know.
Whether that's an
It wasn't on the
age
previous
thing
picture.
or a taste thing.
Leave him explain.
They're
Yeah.
thinner now, and I don't think it's as good.
No, it's not.
It's 7. So
Oh,
this
is
one
it
didn't
seven?
have it.
Oh. Good evening, and welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Today is April the 22nd, 2024. Did you all read the minutes?
Madam President, I have reviewed the minutes, and if there are no further questions or comments, I move to approve.
A second.
Thank you. Second, motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next up, I didn't print off an itinerary, but next up,
Just-
Jackson.
Where's the cover of it? There's that.
Oh, yeah, I've got that.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't print off the agenda, because there was only one
There's
thing.
only one.
We'll let Jackson talk to this one.
Yeah, at 510 East Market Street, we have, the petitioners requested a use variance to permit outside storage in a C2 zoning district. The petitioner owns a discount warehouse with lots of fluctuating inventory. Currently, excess inventory is being stored on the south side of the building and within shipping containers on the west side. The business owner has requested to use 3 shipping containers for storage. After observing this outside storage, the fire department noted safety concerns. City staff spoke with the business owner regarding the need for a clear fire lane for emergency access. The petitioner is aware of the necessary space for emergency vehicles and the need for screening on the property. With the stipulations of an opaque screening along the north side of the property, 3 allotted storage containers along the west side of the building, and a clear fire lane for emergency vehicles, it's the opinion of the planning department that this variance be granted at 510 East Market Street.
Any questions of Jackson?
I'd like to give a shout out for the picture that you have in there. It's really nice to have a picture that shows everything, you know. And
The street view picture?
Yeah, yeah, the overviews and all that are kind of nice in general, Cal, but to really see it and what the issue is going forward as much as you can do that.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
you are very welcome.
Jackson did a good job.
Is
No
there
questions?
anything, is there any, from the neighbors on the other side of the railroad tracks? any
Did letters go
concerns?
out, Kim?
Yes.
And
Yeah, no
no
responses.
comments? Okay, thank you.
Question on the privacy screen, how is he gonna move that?
In terms of like accessing that area,
If he has to access the trailer.
I don't have an answer for that question specifically. I'm not designing the fence, I guess I'll say. I would assume some sort of gate. Lloyd can probably answer that question when he
Okay.
comes up.
Are we ready to hear from the petitioner?
Yeah.
Mr. Bailey, I believe was his name. Could you please come forward? State your case for us, please, and thank you. Yeah.
Yes, hello. What were you asking me to state?
Lean into the microphone.
Yeah. And state your name for David, for the press, please.
Lloyd Bailey.
And tell us what you're attempting here, please, even though Jackson's already gone through it,
Okay.
your version.
I'm asking for a variance to allow for 3 shipping containers that I use for storage on the property. It is for excess inventory that fluctuates, comes and goes. I had 5 containers. I removed 2, which leaves 3. I was proposing to put a privacy screen in front of the containers so that from the road view, it wouldn't be as visible. I wasn't really thinking a fence all the way across, but more in the front, north side of the containers. probably would be about 28 feet or so by maybe 10 feet high.
Okay. Any questions there?
I have none.
And this is all going to confirm with what the fire department is wanting as far as access from the south side of the building to the back of the building?
Yes, I'll make it open, accessible, whatever the fire department needs.
We met with Lloyd, must have been last week, and I got kind of dimensions from the fire department and the fire marshal just to give Lloyd some measurements. And it's like 30-some feet from on the west side of the building, in between the storage containers and the building, and then like just enough room for a smaller vehicle on the south side, which is like 10 to 12 feet. So I've given those to him, and he's aware of that.
Okay, so what we're deciding here is not necessarily the screening, it's basically the containers, is that correct?
Correct.
Kind of with the stipulation of having this fence, and that's part of the special exception a little bit. Not special exception, sorry, excuse me. But just part of this, allowing it in this area is like, well, we'll allow it with the screening and with having the clearance for emergency vehicles.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
And I know Jackson was going to ask you, but I will. Your time frame for putting up fencing, if this is approved?
Relatively soon, within 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Any other questions of Mr. Bailey?
No.
With-
There's no other, as far as extra inventory in the building, there's nothing, you're loaded up, apparently.
I have a lot.
Okay,
I'm finding every nook and cranny that I can find to put inventory at times. But it's always changing. Sometimes we go through 4 or 5 semi-loads per week. So
so the inventory that is gonna be stored in these outside containers is, how often is this turned?
it depends on what it is. I would say every couple weeks
Okay.
to a month.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Something along that.
Are you guys open every day?
Pardon me?
Are you open every day?
No, we're not
I didn't
open to the
think so.
public. We're only doing auctions.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so it's online auctions only.
okay. So there's no real foot traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
okay.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone here? All right, with that, I'm going to open it up. Go ahead, you can sit down, please. Do we have anyone else that's here that wants to speak in favor of Mr. Bailey's petition? Do we have any opposition here to this petition? With that, I'm going to close the floor. And gentlemen, any questions, any more questions? Do I have a motion? Do we need to
I'm
discuss?
thinking that, we have some stipulations here as far as the screening and stuff like that. That really doesn't have a lot to do with what we're talking about.
Right.
So should we have any kind of exceptions to our motion, saying that we will approve this or not approve it as concerned to any of the screening?
Do you want a date put on that screening, say 6 weeks, 2 months, something like
I'm not
that?
sure that we need a date, we just need to make sure that this is part of the motion.
I understand that. Jackson, are you in favor of having a time frame on this? Do we say that we want the screening there within 2 months to give adequate time
Yeah,
to get quotes if that's what he wants to do, if he's not started that process yet?
Yeah, I think it's best to have that timeline to then enforce if need be. I don't think there will be any problems at all,
Yeah.
but I think that's just best case scenario
Right.
to give that timeline. If it's 2 to 3 months, kind of give them the summer to do it, whatever that looks like. But yes, we're in favor.
Jeff, do you want to put a timeline on
Yeah,
that?
his comment was
2 to 3
He
weeks.
said 2 to 3 weeks.
So I would say that I will make a motion that we approve this based on a timeline of 6 weeks, that everything is in place, and it is conforming to our fire department? Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Do you have a contractor lined up, or you just think you've got one lined up? Or-
That I don't, although sitting here thinking, if what kind of screening I would do, if I use a fence contractor, they're probably very busy right now.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm wondering, yeah.
And also keep a fence permit in mind. That's up in our office, but that should be a simple process as well.
well, and I would like
Go
to
ahead.
think that whatever date, say we do say 6 weeks, if Mr. Bailey finds out that's not feasible, but he can show that he's been working on this and
Yeah.
that we do have a tentative date, I think the board would be willing to work with you. The plan commission would be willing to work with you on that. Am I correct?
Well, would he even deal with us, or just deal directly
Deal
with
with
Jackson?
Justin, yeah.
It would be a more
Jackson.
enforcement thing
Yeah.
with
Right.
code enforcement,
Just-
but I'm assuming we'd be flexible if the process has been started.
I would agree with that. Okay.
Go ahead.
Also, you know, there are many different types of privacy screening. I was also possibly thinking of, you know, it's kind of like a mesh, you know, green, looks like grass. What if I covered the whole front of it and attached it to it? It just look like a green wall?
Sure.
Would that be sufficient?
Well, it's like what Dalton's has, or
Yeah.
did, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can gladly call any of us in the planning office and we can help you figure out what's, required for that type of opaque fencing and what we would need to see. We will gladly help you with all of those kind of questions. A lot of people sometimes do like the cross wire metal ones, but there's like plastic weaving in and out that kind of, so you can't see through it. I don't have the code up in front of me, but we will gladly help you figure out, what's best.
Okay.
Okay, my motion still stands.
Okay.
Awesome.
What kind of timeframe?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd.
And if you do have any problems, get a hold of Jackson.
Yeah, always come call me. Thanks, Lloyd.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thanks,
one.
Lloyd.
Do we have any other unfinished business or any other business to chat about tonight? With that,
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You guys learn anything? Ask Jeff to give you an A for the course now.
Oh, is that what this is? School